wakey. I don't know. Michael, I'm wide awake over here. Although I did just literally seconds before starting think, I've got another tip I want to sneak in. So I'm going to pop this in here. Thank you, Paul. Just right, we're not hanging on with questions anyway for now. So, oh, that's my box. I'll push him out. I tell you what I should have done. My new tip should have been make sure your microphone's in front of you. I just literally, I'm playing around with some stuff. Well, I don't want to give away what it was I was just doing because then that would give you a clue as to what it was. But we got some new tips today. You might notice it was getting a bit messy. If you've been joining us this week, we've been running our 30 top tips for Ecamm. And we actually, it got a bit messy. There was like, we'd got about 5 left and it was getting a bit messy to see. So the plan is now, hold on, don't be posting anything just yet because I'm not going to start picking them until I say I've mushed them all back up and we've got now 8 tips that just for today we're going to go through. So let's just have a look who's here. The mic is off. Yes, sorry, Victoria. It wasn't off. It was just that it was sitting over there. I tend to push it to the side and totally forget. So, yeah, that ought to be a tip. Glenda, good to see you again. No questions for now. No, hang on, Donald. Timer is stuck on 16 seconds. Just refresh that, Glenda. I'm sure that will come back to you. So I've got just a little recap. If you're watching this and you haven't joined us in the last few days, we've just this week been, last weekend I found 30 top tips, the kind of things that really come out of our academy. And I'll be talking to you in a little bit about our Ecamm Live Academy, which starts on Monday. And we obviously do a lot of videos and tutorials about how to do overlays, how to do scenes and things like this. But one of the magical things really about our academy is that I come on a live every day and we're going through the tutorials. We're looking at the stuff that you should be doing. And every now and again, we just go, oh, and did you know you can do this? And so I've tried to pull together really a lot of those little tips and things that I think, probably aren't worth making a video about, but actually they're the real little nuggets that people go, I'm so glad I showed up today because I learned this. So we do need to, I think we haven't got a plan really, but what we will do is to slice all these up from today. And so through this week, we've been putting out these 30 odd tips. And I think we'll put them together and we'll create something that whether we put them up as YouTube shorts or something like that, we'll put them out there somewhere. Thank you, Paul. That's the link. So oh wow, what's happened to this? Paul, you've gone massive. Got a new look going on there as well, a new profile image. Liking it, Paul. Very cool. Gail says good morning, day, evening, whatever. I know, Gail, it does get confusing, doesn't it? We kind of come on here and it's all different times for different people. But hey, Anna, good to see you. Right, so we need to jump into this, don't we? I've got some good little tips that we want to get through today, and if we can get through all 8, then we'll do some Q&A. But for now, let's start this going with somebody coined the phrase a couple of days ago of Ecamm Bingo, and I like that. So I've got 8 tips that I need to make sure I've got open in front of me actually. And when you call out a number, I'm going to jump to it. I actually don't have it open. Where is it gone? Right, it'll come up. Don't worry, we're all good. I know what I'm doing. So come on, Kathy. Hello, good to see you. Paul always looks awesome. Yes, he does. Gail kicks us off with number 5. So sorry, Facebook user. It's number 5. Hold on your numbers right now. Now, the first thing I like to do is just come over here and say except 5. Right. So we're starting out. So what you'll see is as we get into this, I need to obviously keep making you aware of the numbers that we've already used. So I'm putting up on here that you can use choose any number between 1 to 8 except number 5. And let's have a look what the new number 5 is. Stream Deck multi-action keys. Oh, wow. We're kicking off with the big one. So I ought to open up Stream Deck. Who's hands up if you've got a Stream Deck? Or let me know in the chat. Just say yes or a no if you've got a Stream Deck. And let's have a little talk to you. So the Stream Deck is this thing here, okay? And I can program all kinds of buttons. So for me right now, I've got buttons on here. We've got a no and a yes and a 2. But yes, don't know how to use it. Oh, Anita, come on. Gary's got one. Lots of yeses, actually. Cool. Yeah, I thought so. A lot of you are into your Stream Decks. Well, this is kind of... So the Stream Deck is there, and at its simplest form, I can go into my Stream Deck and I can program it to say, I want to go to this scene of me. And then when I press, so right here in front of you, so this is me, because I like to keep it very simple. And this is the chat, and this is my screen share, and so on. So that's at its kind of most basic. And actually down here is where I was programming my Ecamm Academy link. So that comes up there, and I've got my little ticker that comes up over here that says, remember to put a Q before your question. So yeah, I absolutely love this thing. To be honest, it took me a few years to get into it. Owen talked to it really quickly, and actually it's not just for Ecamm. He has it programmed up with Spotify, with Final Cut Pro, with all of the different tools he uses. And the clever thing is with Ecamm is it can recognize when you're in one of those programs. So if I opened up Final Cut Pro, it would change around the buttons on the Stream Deck to be my Final Cut Pro ones. So some cool stuff like that. But this tip is multi-actions. And what we're going to do is, and as ever, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So live demo mode over here. We're going to, I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to create a new scene because I keep messing these up, and it's actually, it's a bit easier if I come in. I'm going to slide over to here. And what I'll do, let's just call this Stream Deck, and I'm going to add in, if you remember, we can do screen share overlays, and then I say to this, I don't want it to be the entire screen, I want to share the Stream Deck. So and I want a custom size, so that will allow me to kind of fit it to the Stream Deck. All right, and I'm going to, let's just zoom back out a bit. Actually, I'm going to pop it up here so that you can all see it. And for once, what I might do actually is lose the frame and all this, and we might go green screen, so it takes that background, and we just pop it over here at the side of me. Does that look good? I'm going to come out of my live demo mode so you can see what I'm doing, and this is my Stream Deck window. So the way this works is I can create a profile for so I've got 15 buttons in front of me. I've actually just ordered today the Stream Deck XL, which I think gives me 32 buttons. So yeah, I'm getting ready for the Academy next week. But I can allocate things to these buttons. And what I just did, so I'm going to show you in here, although, let me see what we've used. We're on number 5, aren't we? So I'm going to show you number 5 without giving away any more. This is the Stream Deck key. Now, actually, this is where this kind of falls apart a little bit, is that that's not really big enough, is it? You kind of want to see this rather than seeing me. Okay. So what I can do, a multi-action key, is not just open a button and close it. You've been watching me. So I pressed, and I'll demo it to you. I'll press number 5. Number 5 did this, okay? And this is the cool stuff. Anna's on the chat here. This is the cool stuff that Anna and Fulgen show us. And they're going to be doing a masterclass in the Academy in a couple of weeks' time talking about these things. But check this out. I can choose, instead of just choosing one action, I choose a multi-action key. So I come up here on my, where's it gone? Oh, wow, I've added too much stuff in here. I've lost it. Where's it gone? My multi-action key's gone. Here it is. No, it isn't. That's Control Center. That's Zoom. That's me lights. I'll come back to this. Right. Your multi-action key is, I can say I want it to do a series of things. So in this case, what I've done is I've said the first thing to create this effect is I want this wash to come on. And so this wash is over here. And that's set to come down from the top. And that's it. Yeah. And then when I turn it off, it goes back again. So my first action is overlay. And I can choose on here that I want this wash to come down. Then I choose number 5. And number 5 was the text that said Stream Deck overlay. This one. Okay. That's action. That's number 5. Then I ask it to pause, mostly because it gets a bit stuck, actually. If you try to throw too many actions at it, it can stick sometimes. And so we've put in here a 2-second delay. So the green comes down, the text comes down, pauses for 2 seconds. And then because this is a click kind of turning on or off, next time I click this number 5, it's going to make it disappear. And then the next time I click the wash, that disappears as well. So that's an example of a multi-action key like that. Now, I've just been playing actually today, and I'm quite excited at quite what we could do. I said to Owen, we actually need to do a whole training on this thing itself, because I reckon there's a lot we could do with this. Let me just trim this in a bit so that I can actually push it off the window a bit there. This one here, I've just started playing with. Look at this. I'm building this out at the minute. Stream Deck. This is my studio on. And the first thing it's going to do is I can tell it under one of the apps you can download to turn on my Shure microphone right in front of me. Sometimes on my Zoom calls, it defaults back to a different one. And also on this one, the audio, the output device. So notice I've got an input and an output. There's been times when I've jumped on a Zoom call. In fact, it happened yesterday, and I'm going, I can't hear you. You know, can you check your mics on? And I realized actually it's me. And because this Shure microphone also can work as a headphone, it's got a jack lead in there for me to plug headphones in. When I looked in Zoom, it had changed my settings to be my headphone output to be this. So I can go into there and I say I want my Mac Mini speakers to be my output. Then I open up the Shure app that runs this. Then I can open up Ecamm Beta. Then I want to turn on my Philips lights, and I want them to come onto this scene that's got the blue light down. Oh, actually, sorry, this is turning them on. Then I come onto this next one that says, put this profile in that puts the backlights on white and this on blue. What are we doing here? Yeah, my Elgato key light over there, it turns that on. And then it changes the temperature and the color of that Elgato key light. All when I press one button. How mad is that? So there you go. There's a tip there. Some of you will really geek out of this. Don says, is it under the Stream Deck section? I'm not quite sure what you mean there, Don. Oh, sorry, you're looking for, yeah. It is there. I don't know why a second ago that I couldn't see that. How bizarre. Let me just come back to that scene. So let me pull it over. It's there. So I, under the Stream Deck key, and Don was someone who was kind of inspiring me on this, a bit of this yesterday, actually, on our call-in pro video. But you're right. Look, multi-action in here. So multi-action switch will kind of, if I press it once, it turns something on. If I press it again, it turns something off. So it tends to be a multi-action is what I'm after. So yeah, shout out actually to Don. Don was we were talking on the call yesterday, and Don was saying about things that he's doing Don was saying about Zoom calls, for instance. So the first thing he wants to do is open his calendar up because he often can't find the link, but he's got it there in calendar. So that multi-action key says, open up my calendar, open up Zoom. It was him that said to me about choosing the microphone, choosing the output. So thank you, Don. And I've just discovered, and I don't want to go too far on this, but I've just discovered the whole if then that is a plugin in here now, and I'm hoping that it can talk to my smart devices and potentially turn the camera and the light on as well when I press this button. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, okay, so that was a big one, right, to get us started with. Some of these other ones are going to be quite disappointing now, but that was number 5, which was Stream Deck multi-action keys. Yes, training needed. Let me come back to the chat. Anthony's just saying here that training in the Stream Deck for church applications huge. You're absolutely right. And honestly, I said to Owen, we're definitely going to do a bit of a masterclass inside the Academy next week. Well, it won't be next week. It'll be the week after. And I think there's a whole little mini course that we could do here really about using Ecamm in Stream Deck. This is why it's really opened up my eyes to the Stream Deck was a bit of the numbers are coming in. Well done, Don. Actually, I'll let you have that one. We'll come to that one next. When the Stream Deck and I woke up this morning to a message from one of my friends saying, I'm thinking of getting a Stream Deck, should I get one? And I said, yeah, absolutely. I can't do things like we've been doing here with these overlays any other way than using a Stream Deck. To be able to have that ability to make something appear, make something else appear, make that one disappear, make that one disappear. I couldn't do that by pressing buttons on the screen here. So it used to be, it's quite convenient to, rather than me going, okay, I'm going to click up there to change scene. I've got it on a button. I think that's amazing. There you go. And you can do fun things like that with it as well. I do have another Stream Deck one that we're going to come back to in a minute, but I reckon Don got in there. And so Don wants number 1. So let me come up here and so we're changing this. So we're going to keep this up to date because I like to be tidy. So we've had number 5. We're about to have number 1. And I'm going to press my multi-action key. And here's what number 1 is. Check your audio levels. Right, we how did we touch on this yesterday? We did mention yesterday. I'm going to come back to my live demo mode. This again. Now, bear in mind, these are genuinely kind of my tips and tricks, really, that I'm constantly I'm saying to people. Now, I jump on support calls with folk all the time, and we're talking about Ecamm. And while they're talking, I can see that their microphone is way up there in the red. And I say, just pull that down a bit. As you can see, mine, it should be just kind of touching into the yellow now and again. And that's kind of where I want this set. But what I'm meaning as well about checking these levels is, this is, I think I said this yesterday, this is kind of one tab that I must have open. I got to see those sound levels. But I just pressed there and I meant to do this one at the start.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
You can see there that sound level is coming about right, okay? If I were to take this down first of all, and then I do this one, it doesn't work. You can't even hear it. And if I were up here... That's amazing! It's too much, right? So I want to put that back... That's amazing! About there, probably. I don't want it to be too intense. That's amazing! But I can... So checking these sound levels is really important. And... again, it's quite an amateur mistake that we see people doing again, where all of a sudden you play some music or you play a sound effect and it's too loud, or Maybe it's the opposite and it's too quiet and we just can't hear it. So definitely balance out those sound levels and check that they're right. Check that they're all lined up. Same with your movie. If you're going to play a video partway through, make sure that that isn't too loud or too quiet. You want your listener to be able to listen in, your viewer to be able to watch in, and everything just feel nice and smooth and consistent, like it would be if you were watching this on the TV. Okay, so there we go. That's number one. Checking your audio levels. I'm going to come back to the chat. What's this? Sorry, Laria has a party on switch to push one button and turn on all the cameras, lights, mics. Yeah, cool. Yes, and party off. Oh, that feels sad, doesn't it? But yeah. And this was something else we were talking about. Don was saying this as well, that he has a button that he, at the end of his Zoom call, rather than trying to go to that end and close it off, he could just do it with one button over there. Sorry, Victoria says, I love the Stream Deck because I'm behind my piano, but my laptop is under the camera. Perfect, even just for unmuting. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it really is good. And to be able to switch potentially, I don't know, Victoria, if you've got different angles for the piano, yeah, all kinds of things that you can do there. And actually like pressing for the last comment to come up and things like that. Or this kind of thing to cut between different views and bring the chat up. And Victoria, you probably need to check out, I think I've mentioned this to you before, but Elgato have come up with this new pedal that you can press down. And we had an air step that was another one that was like that, that actually you've got several buttons that you could actually have under your feet. And while you're playing your piano, you could be like tap, and away you go on the left there, and that changes your scene or it brings your comments up. I think that's fantastic. Yes, we'll have different angles after the Academy. Come on. Right, right. You're all randomly throwing numbers in. I tell you what, can I come back to here? And I'm going to say, like, now, the next number that I see under Victoria's comment. So, sorry, Anthony, Johnny, let me start now. Shout me out a number. You can shout the same number out if you want. What have we got between 1 and 8? And it can't be 1 or 5. Let's see if we can get through these. Actually, that's 25 minutes already. Number 2, says Glenda. Right. Number 2 it is. I'm going to type that one in. I like this, you know. I think we've definitely got to take something away from this sort of style of... It's quite fun, isn't it? I haven't got a clue what's coming up. Number 2. Practice. Oh, this is a nice, simple one to talk about, but so important. Now, I've just been saying to you about sound levels and things, and the best way that you can sort that out is to practice it in advance. And I don't mean, well, actually, let me backtrack. We've been working with Greg Foote recently. We did this James Webb Telescope launch that got put out, and we did another big event for him and Maddie last week. One of the things that really stood out to me, he's a TV presenter. He's a professional. He's come up through the TV industry. He practices and practices. His script is pretty much word for word, and he's memorized it. It's incredible. But so we went down last week, and we spent 2 days there. We had a run through the day before to make sure all the tech worked, make sure the lighting and things were working, make sure the Ecamm side of it was all working. And then on the day, we had a run through a few hours beforehand, literally kind of word for word. We were running around with the cameras and doing all that stuff. So we'd done 2 full length practices before we actually got to the main thing. So yeah, actually, pro tip there really is to practice. I'll be honest, I don't do that. What I'm meaning more in this tip about practicing is I'm talking to you about getting your sound levels right, making sure your sound effects are right, your movie volumes are right. And what I would definitely do is to come over to here in Ecamm, and instead of going live to Restream or Facebook or wherever your destination is, just hit record only and go, right, I'm just talking. Does the volume sound okay for this scene? Now I'm going to click onto my other scene. Because again, these are the things that we see happen in the Academy that without realizing it, you've changed scenes and somehow you've muted that next scene. Or maybe you've played a video clip and you don't realize that by default, when you play a video clip, it mutes you. So all of these things happen inside of Ecamm, and you play a sound effect and you think it's sounding great, but actually your audience are going, whoa, he just blew my ears out. So practicing will absolutely allow you to do that. So I would just, I don't mean go all the way through it word for word, but go through your show, make sure you just play that video clip for a few seconds, play the sound effects that you want to do if you've got any, but definitely open every scene that you're going to do. Make sure that you're not muted on any of the scenes. Make sure that the camera hasn't changed. Stop the recording, watch it back, check that you're happy with it. Okay, massive tip there is just to practice this thing before you get into it. Yes, it was Glenda. Look forward to the Academy. Good stuff, Bob. Looking forward to having you in. The best way to learn Ecamm is to push all the buttons and see what they do. Yeah, just not on the live, Paul. Do it on a record only, and then you can come back to it. Right, now, after Paul's comment there, let's see which is going to be the next one. Let's see. We want a number between 1 and 8, but not 1, 2, or 5. I probably could have written it easier the other way around, couldn't I? But bear with me. Let's have a number. Drum roll. I haven't got a drum roll set up. Didn't want to do that. I haven't got a drum roll there. How have I not got a drum roll? Aww. We've got a number 4. Well done, number 4 Facebook user. Just let me know who that is on Facebook, just out of, I can't see, unfortunately. I think it's a permission thing. If you're able just to click the little bit in the description, it should show me your name and your profile picture. But we can go with that. Number 4. It was Jake Wiley. Hey, Jake, good to see you. Right, so number 4 it is. And when I come back over here, number 4... linking overlays. Right, now this is what are we talking about here? Linking overlays. I'll tell you what you can do is, so when we're in overlays, let's find a good example of this. Firstly, it might be, and I'll come into live demo mode. So these are 2 independent overlays over here. Let me just, sorry, I'll zoom us at the top again. So, whoop. It's because I'm getting near the edge of that window. Right, so this is a separate overlay, and this one down here is a separate one. Maybe I want to link those 2 together so that when I move one, they both move together. I can come down here into my overlays, and again, I don't know if you're, so these are all my, oh, we shouldn't be looking at those actually. I need to hide them because you're going to see what's coming. So showing all scenes, it does what it says. Every scene I go to, that logo is going to stay in the same place. But showing current scene, so I could grab a folder here and say top tips. And if I now put inside the folder, and just notice it's very subtle, but it just pulls it slightly indented to tell me that it's inside a folder. And now what I can do is I can link that folder. And now when I come back here and I move one of them, it moves both of them.
That's amazing.
Oh, no. So that's kind of one way and one reason why you might want to do that. And all I got to do is to unclick it, and maybe I realize that actually they weren't lined up after all, and I can move that around. And another reason why you might want to do this is just really quickly, let's create, and actually look, that's great. I need to watch that because that's put that folder inside the other one. Let's put logo, and maybe inside this folder, I want to have, you've seen all the magic that, again, Anna and Fulgens, they're the guys leading the way on this. We're going to put a background in, and we're going to choose a nice, this is going to look a bit tacky, I'm afraid, but we're going to pick a nice background there. Then I'm going to click my text, and we're going to take the opacity down so that basically that's just given me like a bit of a backgroundy thing there. And I'm going to put this down here. And what I want to do is to say this is going to fly in from the left. And now I can Option key, drag up on that. And let's go into it again. And we'll turn off the background. And we'll turn the opacity on the text up. Now let me come to this in a minute. I'm going to put my name in there. I want it to be in there we go, font. So now what I can do, you see, is I could make this appear in here. And you might be thinking, well, why have you just copied that out? Why didn't you just do an overlay as a text with a border around it? And if I just want to sit it in the center here, then yeah, absolutely. What I realize you can do is you could actually change these colors and things around like this. And so maybe I decide that I like this idea of, and I can go center back. So maybe I think that little lot looks nice there. And I've now got to find them all. Hang on. Where did my folder go? There's too much here. So we've got it up in logo. So I've got a text one there that needs to go up. And there it is. That's going to go in first. Then that one's going to go in. So now what I've done is I've put these again inside a folder, and I can link them together. And now what should happen is they all come in together, and it just again kind of jazzes this up a bit to let me play around. I could put another little text under here. They could all kind of come in slightly differently. But yeah, I think that works nicely that they're linked like that. So that's again another reason why you might link together some of these images. We've got this one up here then that, oh, it's unlinked now. That was linked. And certainly when you're designing things, if you wanted to, maybe you've put two different people on screen and you want, once they're there, you think, right, I want them to stay together now. You can link them and then you can move them around. Or maybe you've put a list of bullet points of things that you want to pop up, and you can link them together so that as you're designing it and placing it, they all move together. All right. Okay. Let's come over to you again. Let me just zoom out a bit on this one. Can you link an overlay to a web page? Linking an overlay to a web page. I'm not quite thinking where you're going there, Bob. You're meaning as a... Not if you're meaning to do that screen share overlay. I'm saying that. Maybe you can. Yeah, I reckon you could actually. So is that what you're meaning? So like I've got a screen share window over here. Tell you what, let's have a play. Good shout. Let's see if... So this is my... Well, actually, no, that isn't. I would need to do a new scene. I'm going to get a bit lost in this. How are we doing on time? If I were to go on quickly, because I'm curious actually myself now. If I started off with a blank scene and I brought in a screen share overlay, which we're just going to quickly go through. Let's pick Google Chrome over here. That's my overlay. And we're saying, can we attach? And we've just got to... Even though I'm rushing through, I've still got to tidy it up. Something like that. Okay, so there's my screen share overlay. Now I want to bring a camera overlay over the top of it. Who thinks we're going to be able to? Number 9. Let's go with 9, and I should round those edges off again. I should have been clocking that. Right, so we've got a camera and a screen share. So if I put them both in a folder, I'm not sure if this is what you were meaning, but you're going to see, I'm pretty confident, yeah, we can lock this together. So now these two move around together.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Okay. So yes, if that's what you were meaning, you can. Yeah. With clean folders makes it easier to change. It does, Don, absolutely. And you can, yeah, you can really change things up. You can do rounded edges on these now. You know, you could have the little, we could have your title underneath it as well if you wanted to. All of these cool things. Some great new features. Right, give me another number. We have 1, 2, and 5. Is that right, or did I miss one? 1, 2, and 5. No, 1, 2, 4, and 5. Sorry. We've had number 4, haven't we? Come on. Bless him. Owen said it was really upsetting him watching yesterday that I'd got 2 of my numbers in the wrong order. Sorry, Owen. If you show a website page and you want the viewer to be able to click on it and go to the web page in their browser, can I do that? No, there's nothing clickable in this live stream at all. No, so I just went down all that route, Bob, and I wasn't even getting the right one anyway. Don's picked number 3. Don, you've already picked one, I think, haven't you? Did we pick Don's one earlier? Don had number 1. Right, let's somebody else who hasn't picked. Sorry, Don. Somebody who hasn't picked yet. Let's just see. What have we got? 37 people on. Cool. Yeah, sorry, Bob. Just while I'm waiting for these to come in, fun fact, it's my mum's birthday today, and she's on her way over at the moment, and we're going out for a meal, or we're having a takeaway tonight. So that's my Friday evening all sorted out. Number 3 says Natalie. I voted for 3 too. Come on, there's you guys that kind of seem to know what each other are going to say on here. Number 3 it is. Stream Deck. Number 3. Syncing audio and video. Right. Okay. How many of you, and this is really more of an issue if you've got, like me, an external camera and you bring it in over a cam link or one of these HDMI converters, but you use a microphone that's USB. And what you can find is that you're doing your videos and it looks out of sync. It looks like a badly dubbed movie. So what you can do is Ecamm have built in an option in here to actually sync those two. It's a really good feature. And let me just demonstrate to you how it goes. The way to find this is to do a little record only and watch it back, and without being a techie or without pulling it in. I know some guys kind of pull it into one of their editing softwares and can show you that it's slightly out of sync. You don't really need to. Even Rachel, my wife, who is not at all a techie, she will go, that video looks weird and it's out of sync. It doesn't look right. So you don't need to be a techie to be able to do this. You can just do a little record only, watch it back. Does it look like it's correct? So what we do is we come into this little settings, the little preferences down here, and under audio, notice that I've got mine turned on, and we can do a bit of a live demo here if you like. So mic delay by default will be turned off. And what I can do, if you find that there's a delay in this, it's out of sync, and people are saying to you, you got a problem, there's a delay on your audio, you can come into this. And what I recommend you do is, again, record only. It doesn't matter what's particularly coming through, as long as you can see your face. And then I would say, right, this is me speaking with no mic delay turned on. This is me speaking with mic delay set to 1. This is me speaking with mic delay set to 2. And away you go. And you should only need to go to about 5 or 6 maximum. But I'm just pushing this up so you can see the difference. So now this is me speaking with a mic delay of 10, and I'm guessing that this has now gone out of sync to you, right? So I can pull that down. I know that for me with this camera and this microphone, mic delay 2 seems to be about right. And I know it's on because it's up there in my window. And actually, once I've activated it, I can jump in and I can change it from over here. So that's how to do that. And this has become even more important recently because Ecamm just released, well, it's in beta at the minute, but I think we're only days away. Don't want to speak out of line, but I think we're only days away from this becoming part of the main Ecamm software rather than in beta. But what you can do up here in your output is, I've just realized I came out of beta earlier because something was playing around with me and I thought, I wonder if that's beta, and I switched it across to the main one. So I'm not actually in beta at the moment, so I can't show you it. But up here under virtual camera is virtual microphone in beta. And this is, honestly, for us, this is a game changer. And I know everyone has become a bit of a standard phrase over with Ecamm that everything's become a game changer. But to me, this has become a game changer. I do a lot of Zoom calls. I'm on support calls, every day. And what this has meant is while I've been able to correct it for my live streams, all of a sudden I get onto a Zoom call and I've never been without doing loopback and getting all complicated. I haven't been able to send that audio feed over to Zoom after I've corrected it in Ecamm, but now I can. So with that virtual mic and the virtual cam, I now go to Zoom and I select Ecamm virtual mic, Ecamm virtual cam, and any corrections that I've made over here, Zoom now picks up. So that is fantastic. Right, Glenda says happy birthday. Thank you very much. Yes, Paul, that would be lovely. Please give me some thumbs up. And be sure to subscribe as well if you're not already. Bob's got to run. Good to see you. Christmas? What's going on? Someone's got their times wrong. Right. So we have 1, 2, 4, 5, 3. I'm getting a bit sloppy of not putting these in. If you've arrived recently, we're playing Ecamm Bingo. And I've got 8 top tips. And you've got to, if you give me a number, so let's have a look at the next number to come up. So it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I've just realized, actually, you've kind of all filled that in very neatly for me. So we've only got 6, 7, and 8. So who's it going to be? Mr. B's loving my work. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I think Mr. B should put a number in, actually. Come on, Mr. B. I'm liking the support here. Choose a number, 6, 7, or 8. I've got my iPad at the side of me and I'm trying to get my mouse to go to it like a clown without realizing. Mr. B says 7. Good stuff. Righty. So let's come up to here. So before I get in a pickle, I'm going to put 7 into my list. And let's have a look what number 7 is. Going live on LinkedIn. Cool. Right, I've just made a video about this actually for the Academy next week and to go out to YouTube because we're pretty new onto LinkedIn Live and only recently been approved for it. And now anyone can have it apparently. If you just head over to LinkedIn and you change your profile to creator, you can go live streaming. But it's a bit misleading because you're going to come back to Ecamm and you're going to go, oh, I can see that down there next to Facebook and YouTube, there's LinkedIn. I'm going to click that and I'll be able to go through. You can, but the only option, if you go straight from Ecamm to LinkedIn, you have to go live now. There's no chance to schedule it or create an event. And worse than that is the chat doesn't come into Ecamm if you go directly like that. So that's why I've just put this in as a little tip for you. Really just kind of shouting out on this one at the minute. I'm only just discovering this stuff myself in the last few weeks. You still need to go through Restream. So Restream is a tool that we use. It's exactly what we're using right now that allows me to go out to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, all at the same time. It's a great tool. But even if you only want to go to LinkedIn, you still need to go through Restream. So instead of selecting, and it is another paid service, but we've got a link for you inside the Academy. We can get 25% off of any of those licenses. So yeah, go through Restream and you will be able to create an event. You will then be able to share that out with your audience and, email out and say, hey, come and join us. And the chat does come in. And as if by magic, quite a delay from LinkedIn. Yes. Out of interest, there's a delay on all of them. So when I say something here and it's been interested pulling it up on screen, we could do a quick test. I'm going to get through these other tips. If we've got time, we've got 2 to go, and then we could do a quick test if you want. We ran it the other day, and there's about a 7-second difference of how quickly it shows up on YouTube if we choose the medium setting for latency. And there's about 7 seconds of it going to YouTube before it gets to LinkedIn. In fact, you can have a go at this. If you want to pull up my video, if you find me on YouTube and you find me on LinkedIn and bring both the windows up in front of you, you'll see the difference on there. So yeah, good point, Nicola. There is a delay and it's about 7 seconds slower. Now, that's not a big deal, really. It is in this because it's a little bit interactive and we're asking you to shout things out. On most of the time on a live, as long as you allow for that, then it's fine. It really is. Absolutely. Restream won't take 4K, and it does. If you look at the kind of the specification of what LinkedIn, if you go to LinkedIn and look at their live streaming or you search it, it'll say this is our requirements, and it's a maximum of 1080. So if you've got yours set up to 4K, it may well cause problems. And actually, that's probably a good point. That might have been. I think we were on 4K yesterday, and I wonder if that's why. Oh, you might have just, genius. I think that might potentially be the reason why. So yes, Glenda, Restream is 1080, but I wonder if, Greg's found it's 11 seconds. Interesting. I wonder if when you stream in 4K, that might be the reason of why it's kicking us off sometimes. YouTube is the only platform that will let us stream in 4K. Facebook knocks you down to 720. So even at 1080, that's really good. Now, can I just jump across quickly and talk to you? We are just days away from starting our legendary Ecamm Live Academy. This is such a great course, and it's now only available twice a year. Some of you I know are already coming and joining us. But I do just want to let you know about it. You've probably had emails. You've probably seen all over social media that we've got this going on. But I just want to have a minute to speak about this. So 28th of February to the 11th of March, we're running this Ecamm Live Academy. And really, anything that you can do in Ecamm, we've covered it in a video. We've created a whole load of pre-recorded videos. We accept that you guys are all around the world. Thank you, Paul, for just popping in a link there. You guys are all over the world, and you can't all get on a live to do the training at the same time. So what we do is we drip it out to you a bit each day so that you're not too overwhelmed. And hopefully it means that we're all on the same page. And then what I do is I show up live every day, 5 p.m. in the UK, the same time as we're doing this now, which is 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. And we just come on and really do stuff like this, to be honest, where I'm going, right, today, this is your challenge. You fire in some questions about it, and I can come back to you and answer that. We can develop it a bit. Maybe someone says, hey, I'm trying to do this for my church, like somebody mentioned earlier. We go, right, okay, let's have a look and see what you could do here. And so it really is, this is genuinely where these kind of 30 tips come from, is those little conversations that we have in the group over there. So you've got a whole load of training, 60 odd videos on everything around Ecamm. They're yours for life. You can come back to them at any point. We're not going to kick you out and say that's your time up, pay us more money. And when we update, so when Ecamm comes out with version 4, which will be happening before summer, I believe, we're going to create a whole load of new videos. And anyone that's in our academy gets all those updated videos and any future updated ones as well. Priceless, honestly, that what we're doing for that. And this is $199. But in addition to those training videos, we've got this hybrid model where you get to come into a brand new Facebook group. It's only been there for a week and 2 weeks, sorry. Guys have been coming in over the last 2 weeks. It's a brand new group. Everyone's starting off at the same stage. And all of these sort of tips and that, we're getting you just to practice and go live. And I know I've said it the last couple of days, but I love it. I remember somebody a few days into the academy saying, I'm hovering over this go live button. I've been sat here for half an hour, scared stiff, terrified of pressing this button. I've never gone live before, but they do it. And then other people in the group going, well, if she's just done it, I'd better do it. And it just, I love it. It's fantastic. The atmosphere that we have in there, just this camaraderie, this support, everyone just cheering each other on. Stuff will go wrong. Your microphone will be muted. You will forget to turn it off at the end of the live and carry on without realizing and stuff like that. But it's no better place for it to happen than inside of this group. So there it is. We've also got some, if that wasn't good enough, we also Ecamm provide or offer everybody who comes through for the first time a 25% discount off of a annual pro license. So that's worth $96. So you're only paying $199 and straight away you're getting $96 off. And we will talk to you about our Pro Video Academy, which is me showing you how to do this. And again, you can get $100 off of that. So you're getting your money back before you've even got the content and got into the training. And we got some awesome bonuses. Anna was on just at the start of this live here. Anna and Fulgens are coming in to do a masterclass on branding. You're not going to get to see this anywhere else other than in this Facebook group. Ian Anderson Gray's coming in talking about repurposing and how, this live that you create, you can actually now slice it up and put it on YouTube, take the audio and do a podcast, slice out little segments of it and do social media things, shorts, stuff like that. That's going to be a great session. And then Betsy's coming in as well, talking to us about virtual escape rooms inside of Zoom. That one's going to be cool. So all of these cool things are happening in there. We're there for 2 weeks. The training gets dripped out across week 1. And then in week 2, you just get to play and practice with your fellow members inside the group. But then actually, even after the 2 weeks, although we disappear after those 2 weeks, it turns into a community group. And you can still, you've got until we open the doors again next October to stay in the group and keep playing and practicing in there together. Over on this page, so down at the bottom, this ecammliveacademy.com, this is the page where you'd go to a whole wave of testimonials over there. You can check all those out. More bonuses and things on there. I'll leave you to go through that. Look at that. Some FAQs on there. Hopefully anything that you want to know, we've answered over there. But yeah, time's running out. And I just want to flag it up. Do come and join us. And as I say, hot off the press, Owen we're looking at adding in a special bonus in there as well of a Stream Deck, more an advanced kind of Stream Deck tutorial as well, showing all the cool things you can do in Stream Deck. And I've still got a Stream Deck tip to come. So any questions on that? Sorry. Are updated videos available immediate to alumni, or will they be released in batches with the next academy? Good question, Jeff. When we update videos, they instantly go into the academy and alumni can access them. We tend to hold off until an academy before we create a whole load more. Now, I got in mind that we're only a month or so away from some new changes. So we haven't done any updates for the last few weeks, for the last few months, really, because it takes a lot. We've got 60 odd videos, to redo them all or to redo bits of them. So we kind of wait until there's a major one that changes around the navigation and things, and then we do a whole batch of them. But as soon as they're released into the academy, yeah, absolutely. Alumni get them, and we'll send a notice to you, just letting you know that there's new stuff in there. So haven't got the academy, haven't got Ecamm yet. Should you join? Absolutely. If you go to, there it is, adriansalisbury.com/Ecamm. That's our affiliate link, and that will get you a 14-day trial of Ecamm. So if you hang on, you could come and join us in the Academy, and you could click on that link, or you can head over and take a trial out on Monday, and that will see you all the way through the Academy. 14 days on a trial. You'll be able to do everything the rest of us are doing. It'll just have a little watermark in the top corner. So yeah, I definitely think come and join, have a look at it, download all this training. You're going to get this 25% discount off a pro license if you want to go pro. Yeah, most of these guys are here, or a lot of these guys are already signed up, or they've been through previously. We'll tell you what a great time it is. Facebook group, here you go. Look, here's Glenda coming back already. It's the best group I've been in. Love that. Thank you. Yes, you do get a long time this time around. Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you. Great training. Got to go, Kathy. Oh, you're going to miss the last one, Kathy, or the last couple. Maggie's saying definitely join. Right. Now, we've only got 6 and 8. So which one are we going to do first? 6 or 8? I need to get rid of that. It's in my way now. 6 or 8. Sorry, do people who have Ecamm Pro still get the discount? Anita, as long as you haven't had the discount from us before, then yes. And all it will do is it will get tagged onto your next renewal of Pro. Glenda said 6. Mark said 8. We're going to do 6 first, and then we'll jump to 8 because there's nothing else to go to anyway. And my mum's nearly here, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. Rachel's in the chat, actually, so Rach can tell me when. Maybe I'll get you all to sing happy birthday to her. If it were a Zoom call, you're safe, don't worry. Right, number 6. Number 6, use a blank scene. Right, so we've kind of covered this on other weeks. I'm a big fan of starting out. So maybe you want to do a screen share, or you want to do, you're bringing guests on. And let me just mock up a couple of scenes here. So if I were to create a new scene, I need to turn my guest or my interview mode on. But maybe I think, I want to do a scene with me, and I'm going to bring a guest on as well. Now, at its most basic, it's as simple as that. And when I come out of live demo mode, I'm going to appear here. My guest is going to appear there, and it works. If I want to, what I can do is put us like this. So we've got a backing around us. And I've said in the past, this is the kind of stuff that you can do on on other live streaming platforms. You've got presets like this. What you can do with Ecamm is just go so much further than that. And so what I tend to do is I come up here, and rather than just, starting with my camera and then adding somebody next to me, I'll start with a blank scene. And we covered this yesterday, how we can actually put different color washes and things down here behind this. So it's a blank scene. Then I've put an image overlay on it. And then let's go back to that same interview example. Maybe I want to come up here, and I decide I want to be in a square box. So I'm going to sit over here, and Ecamm, see how that snaps to that point there, and it says to me, yep, you're in the middle. I can come middle like that. And then let's see if I've lined it up about right. I do Option, and I drag this over, and there we go. So now I'm middle, and this time around I can select guest one over there. Doesn't that look better? So whether you like that background, I can take these off and just go back to my plain one. By default, it would be a black background. But this means, when we've kind of put our link in down here, I can set things like this so that we stay up above, and maybe people's comments. Notice that I've messed my sizes up now. This is my silly magic mouse. I don't know if anybody else finds this, but yeah. You let go of your magic mouse and the thing just jumps to another size like that. So maybe I could do this, and actually what I could do is, as comments come up, we could, I can have, thank you, Paul. Come on, guys. I can make comments appear like this now in an area that isn't covered, that if I'd have just stuck me and guest here. So I think this is a really good one to start from a blank scene like this. I can change it around. That could be a screen share over there. I could have text. I can have logos. I just think it can look really nice. Whoop. Yeah. Okay, so that's the last but one tip is about doing that. We'll come back to that one. We need to get on to our last one. And actually, this is a pretty cool one. Though I say it myself, I literally just put this in as we were going live. And it's, you can tell because it's not even lined up. Customizing Stream Deck. Now, let me shut this down. This is I just said this to Owen earlier today. I'm saying to him, so this is how my Stream Deck looks. Okay, the buttons that you can see there are exactly how the buttons appear in front of me over here. And I like to make this text nice and big. I want to be able to, I'll pull it over here a bit and then you can see me on that. I want to be able to see the text. When I'm looking down at these buttons, I'm not actually that interested. So like this one over here that, you know, Ecamm have put these in as little default ones. The symbols don't work with me the same as it does with putting this on it. So what I've found is I can actually, and I just pulled some down. Am I going to be able to find them now, actually? Oh, Aid, where did you put them? Stream Deck background. Here they are. Right. So I can drag, we're down on here. I can drag across a color to the back of this. So I could go, right, I want my, these are my actual changing between scenes is in one color. Now I know Owen's actually created a whole load of nice little graphics and things, but me, in my simplicity, I just want to be able to see that really easily. And I think that works well. And if I could get in my head used to going, right, I know that orange is scenes and maybe my overlays are green. You're seeing what I'm doing. I'm just dragging them on there. I reckon they really stand out. And me getting this bigger 30 key Stream Deck, I want to be able to do that. My sound effects, you know, I want my sound effects to be a different color. Maybe we go pink on those. Maybe we think that's a really kind of, that's my happy color. All right. So can you see the difference of that? And then when I come back to my Stream Deck, I reckon that looks really good, and I could get into a nice little system of, some of you that have got your Roadcasters are used to these big, bold colors on there. I reckon that's a really good one to finish on. And yeah, he is absolutely awesome. It's fantastic having him on board, and I'm so proud of him, really. If you've learnt, come on. All the fans are in the house helping me out. Come on. Yes, let's get some thumbs up over there on YouTube. Right, I think that we're 5 minutes over. That's the end of this. It's the end of our little series. We got through 30 or just over 30, actually, of these little top tips. Hope you've enjoyed it. And as we've said, this is the kind of stuff that we're doing over in the Ecamm Live Academy, which now under a nice green button is there. Please do come and join us. We'd absolutely love to have you and host you over the next couple of weeks. Doesn't come around again until October, so all the cool stuff that's going to be happening with updates with Ecamm over the summer, we're not going to be doing any more training on it, only what's going on inside of our group. So do please get involved in that. We'd love to see you. If you've been through before, alumni get a 50% discount because you've already got the videos. It's just coming back through. And we've had a few alumni recently saying to us, I'm missing out. I hadn't realized these things. And although it's there in that software, it's in my course, I hadn't actually been and looked at it, and I hadn't realized it's there. So I'm coming back round again because I want to pick up on all these new things. So it works really well. Maggie's going to see us. Good stuff, Jeff. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thank you, Glenda. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, happy birthday to me mum. I need to go and put her a Facebook post up as well, don't I? Um, I'm going to have a nice weekend off. I hope you all are. I do try to guard my weekends as much as possible. I encourage you to do the same thing. Have a lovely weekend. And I will... Do you know what I should have done is a multi-action key that when I end it, it turns all of this lot off. And I'm going to get there. That's definitely going to be part of my training. Okay. Thank you so much. All the best. Really appreciate you showing up.